I am Kathavachak and welcome to the realm of Katha. Ravan is one of the most revered antagonists of the Indian mythology. He is prayed to by many as a demigod and is considered as one of the most staunch devotees of Lord Shiv. In battlefield, even Lord Ram was impressed by his knowledge of warcraft and was mesmerized by his magnificence. Dashera is one Hindu festival in India which is celebrated as victory of Lord Ram over Ravan. But even before Lord Ram, there were many instances where Ravan was humbled. And though we have heard a lot of stories about his victory over the years on gods like Indra and Kuber, let us bring to you a few stories where he was humbled by many chosen warriors. So let's begin. So this katha is from the time when Ravan had driven out his stepbrother Kuber from Lanka and had taken over all his wealth, including his aerial chariot Pushpak. Now, Pushpak was a beautiful chariot. It moved according to the will of its owners. Ravan, after acquiring all the wealth, felt all powerful. Pushpak used to take him everywhere, whether over the broadest or the tallest mountains or through the deepest of valleys. If Ravan had willed it, Pushpak will go there. Until one day, as Ravan was flying towards Mount Kailash, which is actually abode of Lord Shiv, suddenly Pushpak stopped. Try as he might, Ravan could not will Pushpak to move at all. Suddenly Ravan was in a fix, and as he was not used to it, an anger started roiling inside of him. He thought to himself, okay, so if I cannot fly over this mountain, I will certainly lift it and toss it out of my way. Now, at the same moment, on top of Mount Kailash, Lord Shiv and Lordess Parvati had a small tiff between themselves, and Parvati was walking away in a huff towards her parents' house. Suddenly, the mountain started to shake. Boulders started falling everywhere. Even Parvati lost her balance a little. Then she steadied herself and ran back into the arms of Lord Shiv. She was scared a lot and she asked Lord Shiv, "Oh my lord, what is happening? Why mountain is shaking so much?" It was actually Ravan trying to lift Mount Kailash. Goddess Parvati pleaded to Lord Shiva, "Oh my lord, please stop this tremor, please do something." Lord Shiva calmly stood up and pressed his toe to the mountain. And the mountain came crashing down on Ravan's hands, who let out a loud shriek. When the shriek reached top of the mountain, Parvati asked, "What was that, my lord? Who is crying?" And Lord Shiva said calmly, "Dear Parvati, that is our friend Ravan. He was actually trying to lift Mount Kailash and actually sent you back into my arms." Seeing this, Parvati was very much impressed by Ravan's mind and said, "Oh my lord, he is very innocent. Please forgive him, don't punish him." Meanwhile, below the mountain, Ravan had barely got his hands out of under the mountain. And he was reminiscing, "I think there must be some really powerful being on the top of this mountain. I wish only if he could appear before me." Suddenly, Lord Shiv and Goddess Parvati appeared before him and said, "Dear Ravan, I, Shiv, am very much pleased by your courage and your perseverance. And to show you how pleased I am, here is my sword Chandrahas. Use it wisely." And saying this, they both disappeared. Ravan felt really happy and he ascended his Pushpak and flew away. A few years after this incident, Ravan was again travelling in his chariot Pushpak with few of his ministers. After travelling for some time, they reached banks of Narmada river and a city called Maheshmati, which was presided over by Kartavirya Arjun. Kartavirya Arjun was a Gandharva king and he was blessed with 1,000 arms. After reaching the banks of Narmada river, Ravan suddenly spotted a beautiful spot and decided to stop there. He told his ministers that we would stop here for some time. I will sit on the banks of Narmada river and meditate to Lord Shiv. Then we'll go on our merry way. So he built up a small shivling on the banks of Narmada river and sat down there to meditate to Lord Shiv. Now, a few yards away downstream, Kartavirya Arjun had chosen a spot to frolic with his wives. They were bathing in the river and playing around. Suddenly, one of his wives said to him, "Oh my lord, there is a bet going around amongst all of your wives. We know that you are very strong, you are a mighty warrior. But we don't think that you can contain river Narmada. We don't think that even a warrior with 1,000 arms like you can contain holy mighty river Narmada. Kartavir Arjun was very amused by this thought, but decided to take up this challenge. So he sat in the middle of Narmada river and spread out his 1,000 arms on the both sides, creating a sort of dam. The river started bleeding out from behind him, and the level of water started rising in front of him. Now, upstream from him, Ravan was meditating to Lord Shiva just on the banks of river Narmada. Suddenly, the river started rising and coming towards the Shivling. Now, as the Shivling was made of mud, it got dissolved in the river and floated away. This broke the meditation of Ravan, and he felt really angry to see the scenario in front of him. He got up and decided to investigate that what was the reason of this. As he went downstream, he saw Kartavir Arjun sitting in the middle of Narmada river and with his arms out. He got really angry and decided to teach him a lesson. Ravan shouted from the banks of the river, "Oh Arjun, if you think that you are mighty, then prove it in combat with me. Don't mutilate a holy river like this." Arjun calmly stood up and strode to Ravan. "Dear Ravan, we at Maheshmati are very hospitable to our guests and we give them whatever they desire. So let me fulfill your desire of battle with you." And so started the battle of two mighty kings. Mace was their weapon of choice. They fought long and hard until one last blow from Arjun sent Ravan reeling to the ground. He was made a prisoner in Kartavir Arjun's prison. After a few days, Ravan's grandfather, Sage Pulatsya, learnt about this, so he visited the city of Maheshmati. He was welcomed profusely by Kartavir Arjun, who then asked him, "Oh dear sage, what do you desire? How can I serve you?" Sage Pulatsya said, "Dear Arjun, you have proven yourself to be a mighty king and a brave warrior by defeating my grandson Ravan. Now please let him go." Kartavir Arjun promptly let Ravan go. He gave him many gifts and sealed their friendship in front of fire as witness. Ravan apologized to his grandfather and fell on his feet, and then flew off in Pushpak with his ministers. Now one fine evening, Ravan was again travelling by Pushpak when he reached the shores of Kishkinda. Suddenly he spotted the monkey king Vali and decided to take a pit stop there. As he got down from the Pushpak, he saw that Vali was busy in meditation and didn't pay any heed to Ravan. And he thought, I think surely this creature must have seen me, but still he didn't pay me any heed. I should humble him and teach him a lesson. So he decided to grab the tail of Vali and flung him around into the sea. As he grabbed his tail, suddenly the tail wrapped itself around his hand. Now finishing his prayer on the eastern shore, Vali took off in the air and Ravan behind him in his tail. As he reached western shore, he started praying again. Now Ravan thought, now this is the time to free myself, and tried to free himself by his other hand, which also got trapped in the tail, and Vali again took off towards the northern shore. As they landed there, by now Ravan was frustrated and was trying everything to get out of this tail. He tried with his one leg, which again got trapped, and then his other leg also got trapped. By the time Vali reached back to Kishkinda, the whole body of Ravan was entrapped in the tail. As Vali landed on Kishkinda's palace, he suddenly heard some cries for help. "Please help me, remove me from this trap, please help me. Vali turned around and could see no one. Then he thought, where are you shouting from? Ravan said, here, I'm here, please help me. Vali went to the bushes, he looked down the parapet, he looked from the ceiling, but he couldn't find anyone. Then he was like, "I think you are trying to fool me, my friend. If you do that, I will punish you. Tell me where you are." "I can't come out, Vali. I am stuck in your tail." Then he realized what the issue was, and he unwrapped his tail from Ravan's limbs. When he saw that it was Lankapati Ravan, he was flabbergasted. "Oh my lord, how you are here?" And Ravan could only muster, "Dear friend, it was just an accident. Let's just forget it." Vali treated Ravan to his riches and then let him go respectfully. And Ravan flew in his Pushpak humbly. So these were some stories of Ravan being humbled. Until next time,